Lundradi brought some very interesting OCG deck profiles to my attention this week as we journey through what appears to be the next round of OCG decks. So what's up, guys? M40 here. The OCG is already gearing up and testing their new format in their unofficial shop tournaments, and you know what that means? Players are quite curious to see what the next list is going to bring to the table. So the first deck we're going to be looking at here is a Beast Warriors, or a Beast Stun deck. Now, when I first saw this and Lund was like, hey, check this out, I was like, this is relatively interesting. So, basically, for those of you that don't know, Obedience Schooled is one of the most interesting cards that we actually have for interaction. If you control a monster, special summon 3 level 2 or lower Beast-type monsters that are effect monsters with different names from your deck. Their effects are negated, and they are destroyed during the end phase. If you activate this card, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn, except for Beast-type monsters. So basically, we have multiple things we can bring out off of this. One of them being Nimble Beaver. Of course, Nimble Beaver on normal summon. You special summon a level 3 or lower Nimble monster from your deck. Can't do that here, but Beast, Beast, and Beast. Yoko Tuner. So, you can Obedience Schooled for Yoko Tuner and your Nimble Mamanga and your Pompoko here, and you can make a Naturia Beast for 1 card, by the way. You deck thin 3. Or, you know, you can go Obedience Schooled for a combination of these 4 cards. Those are all your physical targets. If you hard draw them, it's just kind of bad luck, but there's not much you can do about that. Also, this deck gives you access to Rescue Cat, which in turn gives you access to our friend Mr. Ronin Raccoon Sandaya. So, this is 2 level 2 Beast-type monsters to make it. Once per turn, detach an Xyz material from this card. Special summon 1 Kagemusha Raccoon token. Question mark 0. When summoned, its attack becomes equal to the current attack of the monster on the field that has the highest attack. Your choice of tied. And while you control another Beast-type monster, this card cannot be destroyed by valid card effects. You used to be able to like soft lock with multiple copies of this. It was actually really cute for the most part. But what you have here is you're just going to start producing these tokens and things like that. Also, Obedience Schooled gives you access to Needle Fiber, which is pretty cute right off the bat. Like, I'm not going to discount that. So, we have 2 copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, 1 copy of Baby Raccoon Pompoko, 1 Effect Veiler, triple copies of Maxi, of course, 2 copies of the Nimble Beaver, 1 copy of Nimble Momonga. While you look at this card, you're probably like, it's not as good as it once was. Yeah, it's really not. I mean, you're not playing multiple copies, but you have to understand, the format's slower now. You have to look at cards as resource management now. And while people can be like, I want to play multiple copies of Nimble Momonga, it's not value. We have triple copies of Rescue Cat, and of course triple copies of Thunder King Ryo, 1 Airbellum, and the 1 copy Yoko Tuner. Now remember, Rescue Cat does get Pompoko and Airbellum, which is Naturia Beast. Like, at every step of the way, you should be seeing a Naturia Beast, if at possible. We have 1 RB Feather Duster, triple copies of Obedience Schooled, triple copies of Pot of Desires for the raw draw power, 2 copies of Scapegoat, Traps, aka our stun cards. We have triple Crackdown, 2 copies of Infinite Impermanence, triple copies of Solemn Judgment, 2 copies of Stee Reich, and triple copies of Solemn Warning. I love the fact that the OCG literally just... This is a trap board. Like, this is amazing. Down here in the extra deck, we have 1 copy of Security Dragon, 1 copy of Ningrisu, 2 copies of Mrs. Radiant, 1 Avermax, 1 Link Karibo, 1 Link Spider, 1 Unicorn, 1 Phoenix, 1 copy of Needle Fiber Boy. Then we have 1 Boral Sword, 1 Borreload, 1 Sky Cavalry Centaria, 1 copy of Raccoon Sandaya, and the 1 copy of the Naturia Beast. Side deck here we have 2 Pankratops, triple copies of Ghost Bell and the Haunted Mansion, 2 Ghost Ogre, 2 copies of Evenly Matched, 2 copies of Heavy Storm Duster, 1 of Pure Order, and triple copies of Typhoon. Wrapping up a rather interesting stun concept. I would very much challenge somebody in America to kind of diversify, test this. See if you can actually come up with a build like this that is actually able to adapt to our metagame, because this is very interesting, and I do like my stun concepts. Trust me, it's one of the backbones of this channel. Now, next list we have is Altergeist True Draco. And Len notified me that this isn't the first time that we've seen this coming across the OCG, which is very interesting. Recently, going into October 1st here, the OCG gets Draconic Diagram unrestricted. This is going to be the first time that they get to play this card at more than 0 for a very long time. And one thing that makes me question how broken this is they have Dynamite unrestricted, and they also have these good cards unrestricted. When I look at Return, I'm like, this card's very broken. But I believe that they're looking at this from the effect of I can step over protocol to stick a Dynamite on the field and also get access to things like this. It's definitely an interesting concept. So, this is basically Altergeist True Draco, kind of taking advantage of the more recent unrestrictions for this concept. Not much else to really say. It looks really weird on paper, but I'm intrigued with this. So we have 1 Kungurti, triple copies of Marionetter, triple copies of Meluzik, 1 copy of Multi-Faker, and 2 copies of Zilliquitos. So literally, our monster lineup is super staple here for what you would expect for the Altergeist engine. Non-Altergeist cards, 2 Ash Blossoms, triple Dynamite, and triple copies of Maxi. No Ignis Heat, no Majesty Maiden. Literally, it goes to prove here that Dynamite is the most powerful True Draco card, carrying this build on his back, actually. Spells, 1 Draconic Diagram, triple copies of Pot of Extravagance. I do like this. You basically, your extra deck is a management resource to you. While when you look at standard True Draco, you see this deck that wants to play extra deck list, doesn't want to play it at all because you want to have access to Monarch's Erupt. At least in this build, you get to splash in the Altergeist engine, take advantage of that raw draw power, and get to your cards. We have 1 Terraforming, 1 True Draco Heritage. Then we have 2 copies of Manifestation, Triple Protocol. This is very standard for what we've seen for Altergeist. 1 Imperial Order, triple copies of Infinite Impermanence, 2 copies of Personal Spoofing, triple copies of Solemn Judgment, triple copies of True Draco Apocalypse, and 1 copy of True King's Return. Wrapping up the main deck here. Like I said, I guess for a combination build, this is interesting. The extra deck down here, we have 1 Triple Burst Dragon, 2 copies of Relinquished Anima. I guess just being able to toggle out the Meluzik for this and possibly get a spot removal off of the opponent is pretty good value. 2 copies of Avermax, 2 copies of Link Kribo, 1 Unicorn, 2 Phoenix, 2 Prime Banshee, and triple copies of Hextia. Side deck here we have 2 Pancratops, 2 copies of Phantasmi, 2 Ghost Bell, 1 Iron Dragon Tiamaton. Basically being able to wipe a whole column is pretty... I guess they can be free in this deck. We have 1 Nibiru, triple copies of Cosmic Cyclone, 2 Mind Control, and 2 copies of Anti-Spell Fragrance. Wrapping this deck out. This deck definitely takes me more off guard, and if I was playing against something like this in the TCG, I don't know, well, I have an idea of what to play against it, but I don't know. Triple Dynamite's very scary, plus your standard Altergeist engine. This just seems like another degenerate stun deck, in my opinion. And the last deck we have here is a little bit of love to OCG Sky Striker. This deck has been constantly evolving. They get to play Max C in this deck. I'm kind of jealous. They also get Pot of Avarice. Who needs 1 Kagari when you have triple Pot of Avarice? Am I right or am I right, guys? So, Sky Striker OCG Edition. We have 2 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Triple copies of Effect Veiler, but of course. We have 2 copies of Ghost Bell in the Haunted Mansion. Triple copies of Max C. Triple copies of Sky Striker Ace Ray. 1 copy of Cult by the Grave. 1 Harpy's Feather Duster for the board wipes. 1 Pot of Avarice, triple copies of Pot of Desires, 1 Rhoda, 2 copies of Area Zero, 1 Afterburners, 1 Jamming Waves, 1 Hornet Drones, 1 Shark Cannon, 2 copies of Widow Anchor, triple copies of the very good card, 2 copies of Engage, 1 Terraforming, triple Upstart Goblin, and triple copies of Infinite Impermanence, wrapping up ye old main deck. Down here in the extra deck, we have triple copies of Shizuku, 2 copies of Kaina, 1 Kagari, triple copies of Hayate, 1 copy of Ningirisu, 1 Avermax, 1 Link Kribo, 1 Unicorn, 1 Phoenix, and 1 copy of Needle Fiber. Side deck, 2 copies of Pancratops, 2 copies of Diffusion. Fusion threats. Triple Cyberstein, by the way, in their format. So, being able to auto out whatever they're sticking on the field with Diffusion seems really cute. I actually really like this as a tech card. We have 2 copies of Twin Twisters, triple copies of There Can Only Be One, triple Threatening Roar. This is also very interesting. And we have 2 copies of Typhoon, wrapping up this week's edition of OCG Decklist. Once again, thanks to Lund for sending these in. The OCG, it definitely sparks a lot of concepts. I'm interested to see this run in Stun. I'm also curious to see this Altergeist True Draco shenanigans actually in play, because it's really interesting. So guys, tell me what you think down below in the comments section. I always read them. I don't always respond, but you know, I'm always here. And well guys, I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanquil40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.